In today's session of Divorce Court, Donna Chamley says after 24 years of marriage to William, there's one thing she knows for sure.
This man can't seem to keep it in his britches. Over 6 different girlfriends of mine he slept with.
I'm not that good-looking fella. I can't go out here and I can't get a woman now.
He even asked my sister, he said, "You're so beautiful, will you kiss me?"
That's not taking her to bed, Donna. Are you stupid?
I no longer wanted to be with a man that cheated on me and gave me venereal disease. I was scared to sleep with him. I wanted to throw up.
Your Honor, she's a mean woman.
Today, Donna Chamley squares off with William Chamley in this session of Divorce Court.
All rise. Court is now in session. Maybelline Ephraim presiding. You may be seated.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is the matter of Donna Chamley versus William Chamley. And I'm advised that this marriage has lasted for 24 and a half years. And now you want to end it, Mr. Chamley. Why?
Well, Your Honor, about a year ago, Donna come up and confessed that my oldest daughter wasn't mine.
Your oldest daughter wasn't yours?
Correct.
A year ago?
Yes, ma'am.
That is not true, and
Your Honor,
What did she say to
reason
you, and
I
how did she
told
come?
you-
How did you
she
get to
just
that?
comes
The
up
only
there.
reason
We
I
was all
told
time
you
arguing.
that-
Miss Chamley, let him explain
We
to
were
you.
all time arguing and stuff. Our house has been in turmoil for 20-some years. With Donna running in and out of the house, it's thought it was a swinging door, no doubt.
Donna's a swinging door.
No, ma'am. She thought it was a swinging door. Whenever she run out, she could come back in anytime she wanted to.
You're crazy.
What do you mean by run out and come back in?
Well,
boy?
she goes and does a fling with some guys and stuff.
Oh, so she
My
had
daughter
numerous
was a
flings
year-
back and forth.
Yes, ma'am.
For 20-something years?
On and off, yes, ma'am.
That's a lie. My
So
daughter
last year
was-
she told you that your oldest daughter was not yours.
Correct.
My
And
daughter was a year and a half
That hit me
old,
hard in
and
the
you gave me a
he-
venereal disease.
Would you just let him finish? Why did she tell you that your daughter was not yours?
'Cause she
How
wanted-
did you get into this conversation
I wanted to break
a year and a
marriage
half
off,
later?
and I figured that this would be a way that I could really hurt him.
You wanted to do what?
Break the marriage off. I no longer wanted to be with a
So-
man that cheated on me and gave me venereal disease.
Your Honor.
My daughter was a year and a half
Your
old,
Honor.
and he gave me a soda with crushed up penicillin. He could have killed me.
Well, Your Honor,
So that was 20-some years ago, right?
My daughter was a
Exactly.
year
I was
and a
trying
half
to,
old.
I was trying to
Okay,
cure
but
her.
my
I wasn't
question
trying
is,
to
hold
kill
on.
her.
I don't want to talk about that.
Exactly.
You said a year and a half ago.
Yes, ma'am. I had.
Can I finish?
I'm sorry.
Your daughter, your wife came to you and said that your oldest daughter, who has to be at least, what, 22 or 23?
23, I believe she
Is
is.
not your
24.
child.
Correct.
And I'm trying to figure out, how did you get to this conversation?
She just said she was trying to get
He
me
was
out of the
always
house.
telling me that girl's not mine.
Your Honor,
She looks
she-
just like my mom. She looks just like my
Well, my
sister. There's
daughter-
never been a paternity
My
test.
daughter's come up and talked to me and said, Dad.
And the reason there's a question...
You
I
may not-
cannot hear both of you.
May I say something?
I don't know who I'm going to let say something. But I believe that I was trying to get an answer out of him since he brought up the issue.
Okay.
Then I'll come to you.
Okay.
I'm trying to find out the circumstances under which you get to a conversation after 24 years of marriage and suddenly she's saying this is not your child.
Well, Your Honor, I figured she went out and found one of these fellows that she was wanting to stay with, and that was going to break our marriage up, and it did the very same thing.
Well, she had found all these
It's not
fellas
true.
before and it didn't break the marriage up.
Well,
What would be different
she must
this
have
time?
found one she wanted to keep.
No,
Oh,
that's
now
not
you
true.
can tell me. Why did you tell him this all of a sudden?
I used to have to board myself up in my bedroom. He would tear the locks off because I no longer wanted to have sex with him because it made me sick.
Was this after the
he
first
gave me-
child or the second child or the third child? How many you have?
No, I dealt with this marriage and dealt with this marriage. He continued sleeping around. I could no longer have a girlfriend. He had everyone, over 6 different girlfriends of mine he slept with. They come back and told me.
Your
I no
Honor,
longer can
Those were
have
your
a girlfriend.
girlfriends, you say?
Every single one. My
Why
daughter,
would you call
Jack.
them your girlfriends if they were sleeping with your husband?
I went to school with him since 4th grade, a lot of them.
But so it was just people you knew in the community.
He did the neighbors, yeah. He did the neighbors. I mean, hey.
So it was just
He
any
even
and
asked my
everybody.
sister, he told her, he said, you're so beautiful, will you kiss me?
Any
But
and
that's
everybody.
not taking her to bed, Donna. Are you stupid?
My sister wouldn't sleep with
No,
you
she's
anyway.
not stupid.
I didn't ask her to sleep with.
This man can't seem to keep it in his britches.
Well, he's saying that that's what happens to you.
Your Honor.
No, I don't think so. I'm better than that.
Now,
Your
wait
Honor.
a minute. What did you say about a penicillin
He
in
put
the soda?
penicillin in a soda. My daughter was only a year and a half old. He was
Which
going to
daughter is this?
self-medicate me, my 24-year-old.
All right.
He was going to self-medicate me with penicillin because he knew he had a venereal disease.
So how did you find out about the penicillin?
Because I poured that nasty tasting soda down the sink. And he said, we need to sit down and have a talk. So we sat down and I said, what? He said, you need to go to the doctor.
And then what did he tell you?
That he had a venereal disease.
So that was 23 years ago.
Exactly.
He told you that.
And ever since then, all I've heard is all of my girlfriends and my friends say, well, he slept with me, he slept with your neighbor, he slept with this.
Okay, so if he's been sleeping
Your
around, if he's been sleeping around with the neighbor, with your girlfriends, he brought home venereal disease 23 years ago, then tell me, what's the difference? You stayed there 24 years, why you can't get to 25?
Because he started forcing me to have sex with him.
Oh,
and I started
my God,
nailing, I
it.
nailed 2x4 because he tore both my locks off my bedroom door. I put a 2x4 and nailed the door shut.
Across your door?
Across my door to stop him from coming in my bedroom and forcing me to have sex.
He
told me if I didn't give him sex, he'd go get it somewhere else.
No, that's a lie.
Well, that's probably, it sounds like that's what he was doing anyway. That's what
I
you're
know.
saying?
I was scared to sleep with him. I wanted to throw up.
So why didn't you just leave and get a divorce?
That's what I'm here today for.
But I mean,
can't
24
stand it.
years ago.
That's what I'm talking about.
I stayed there till my girls got grown.
So you were trying to stay until your daughters got to be
I was
adult.
hoping maybe the marriage could be, fixed, but it got worse and worse.
Do you know what example you were giving to your daughters? What were you saying to your daughters if your husband is out chasing and going after every woman in town, according to you?
He put my kids out in the rain, and my daughter, she was 7 years old.
That's a lie.
She
That is
witnessed
a lie.
him having sex off the side of my bed while I was at work.
Your daughters witnessed that.
She
and
was
you
7 years
continue to
old.
stay in a marriage and let your daughter keep witnessing her father in and out of relationships.
That was the only time she witnessed something like that.
Okay, but you said he's gone and he had flings all the time. If you heard about him having flings with the neighbors...
He'd go to work and have a fling, and he's,
That is another
He
lie.
would be at work. That's where you got your venereal disease.
I believe
you was at work.
Did you get it? Did you contract it?
Yes, I did. I had to be treated for it.
No, she just went out and got
wait a minute.
treated.
She's saying that you having all these flings with the neighbor, with the friends, with any woman you come in contact with. So if he's doing and having sex that much, seems like there was nothing left for you, so why would you have to board your door?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Because he would get his dirty movies out and watch them in the living room and then come back there and force his way in the bedroom.
And where was our kids
to make
at?
me have sex with him.
No, exactly. Where was our kids at when I was playing these dirty movies and stuff?
You tell
Were
me.
they playing outside looking in the
they would
window?
be out.
Mr. Chandler, look at me.
Excuse me.
Tell me, where were they? Is she making all this up?
Yes, ma'am.
There's no
she
way
is.
I can make this up.
It's kind of a rebuttal thing. It's herself she's talking about, Your Honor.
Oh, so it's reverse psychology.
I had dirty movies.
Reverse psychology, is that what you're saying?
Exactly what she's doing.
When she's talking about you going out with all the women and chasing all the neighbors and the friends, it's really her doing that to your friends?
I swear to God on that right there.
So what do you swear to God on?
Oh, my God.
That she's the one that's been in and out the door, then having all these flings. I'm not that good-looking fella. I can't go out here and I can't get a woman now.
You can't get a woman? You got your wife?
No, I don't want that.
Well, I've known plenty of men that didn't have to look good to get plenty of women because some of them don't worry about looks. They just worry about what you can do for them.
Well, that's a good point.
When divorce court returns, William testifies about Donna's violent temper.
I've got 15 months restraining order against her. They come and took her and kicked her butt out of the house.
Well, he has a restraining order against you. You have a restraining order?
No, he got there first.
Are you involved in a dispute with a neighbor, friend, relative, or business person? Take your case to a new court show and be represented by a prominent attorney. Call 877-777-0099. Divorce court is back in the case of Donna Chamley versus William Chamley, who both admit to cheating throughout their marriage and only stayed together for the sake of their children.
Your Honor, I work all the time. Held a job for 17 years, and going through turmoil and hell with her, having to get up in the morning. The kids
Well, I'm going to ask you the same question. If she's been going in and out and all these flings for the last 20-some years, why did you stay?
For my children, Your Honor.
Oh, so both of you were staying in this marriage for the sake of the children. If I were to have the children here and ask them, they probably would say to me, you know what? They should have split up a long time ago and we would have been happy about it.
Well,
don't you realize that you didn't help your children by staying in a relationship where I don't know which one of you is having extramarital affairs. She says it's you say it's her. The truth is it's probably both of you. What you say?
No.
You telling me you never had any?
No, ma'am.
Not one?
No, I'm not saying that.
Now.
So you were cheating as well?
But not in the last 15 years or so.
Oh, so she started hers in the last 15 and yours were the first 9.
Somewhat.
After a year and a half
Was
of marriage.
that the only problem?
Year and a half. That's when I caught him, a year and a half. I don't know what he did prior to that year and a half we were married. The only way he got caught on the year and a half was that soda with penicillin.
Penicillin, and he had to tell you about the venereal disease.
And because I poured it down
you
the
brought
sink.
your wife a venereal disease home?
Well, I didn't
And
do it
put
on purpose.
penicillin in a
Excuse me?
I didn't do it on purpose, Your Honor.
And then you didn't have the decency and to tell
Yes,
her?
I did.
Going to
Same
self-medicate
day.
me.
Didn't you tell her after you tried to hide mask it with the penicillin in the soda?
Same day.
Well, why you just didn't sit down and tell her, look, I have venereal disease and you need to take this medication?
Wow, that'd been hard to do.
You knew she probably wouldn't accept that, right?
He knew I'd probably smack him in the face.
But this is...
Smack him in the face?
I mean,
So
somebody
there's-
give you something like that?
So did you smack him in the face?
No.
No, it was like he threw a brick in my face.
Well,
I mean,
now
I was
you
like,
said that you probably would smack him in the face if he told
no,
you that.
I was thinking
So
that.
was there any domestic violence in this relationship?
Oh,
Time's
yes, there's been a lot. He's got a
you-
restraining
So at some
order.
point,
Your Honor,
so both of you have all these papers.
I've got 15 months restraining order against her. They come and took her and kicked her butt out of the house. The police did.
Let me see
These
your restraining
charges
order.
here, I'd
Hold
like
on
to-
a second.
I would like to
So
show
at
you
some
these
point
charges.
you did get mad enough to smack him in the face.
Oh,
No,
she
I've
beat
never
me
smacked
good.
him in the face. He broke my nose. He busted both
Your
my
Honor, that was
eardrums.
25 years ago.
Oh,
She
it
keeps
don't matter.
bringing up- I haven't
He
done
broke
anything
my
in the
nose,
last 15,
busted my
15
eardrums.
years.
He has choked me. I have been
called me
beat
up-
and beat by this man.
She called me up last night, or the other night, 3:30
Well,
in
he
the
has a
morning.
restraining order against you. You have a restraining order?
No, he got there first, and what I'd like, he got there first.
So it's not funny.
I called
Well, I
the
know
sheriff
hope
so
that
many
you have
times.
learned something by this. What
Not to-
have you learned anything?
Not to pick somebody that's going to beat me up. I'm
What
tired
about-
of being beat on.
What about you
mentally
beating on people?
Your Honor.
and physically?
What have you learned about you beating on people?
I don't have to beat someone for love.
You're 40-something years old. You got adult children. You still haven't learned that. You still haven't learned it.
About
And
what?
because this marriage is over after 24 years, you're going to get involved with other people. And if you don't learn how to control your tempers, you're just going to be a 50, 60-year-old person beating on people, and you're going to end up in somebody's jail. So you need
I
to go
agree
to
with
some
you.
anger management classes. And what else can I do for you? Seems like
I've
that's
got,
the best thing I can do for you.
I was thrown out of the house on August 31st of 98. This bill here is November 25th of 98 for the light bill. He let it go 3 months, and then when they cut it off, he gets his friend to co-sign for him to get the lights on. I
Your
can't even
Honor,
get lights.
I paid
So
her.
let me see the bill.
$468.84. He thinks that I'm going
That's
to pay
ridiculous.
for it. I wasn't allowed to live there. He used the electricity.
No, that wasn't in the...
I also have the phone bill here, $438.84.
Your Honor,
He let it
that
get cut
phone
off.
bill right there, I do not even like a phone.
So the lights were in your name?
Yes, the reason everything was in my name.
I don't want to know why.
Why
I
didn't
just
she
asked,
pay him
was
when
it
I...
in your name?
Why
The
didn't
lights,
she pay him
the
when I
water,
gave her my money? I give her my
the
money
phone.
every
Hold
Friday.
on, Mr. Chamley. I'm asking her a question now.
I'm sorry.
The lights and the phone bills were in your name?
And the water bill.
So when you got kicked out of the house under this restraining order, you never returned?
I couldn't by the court order. I could
Right.
not move
Well,
back
why
in the
didn't
home.
you
Did
have
I
them
ask
bills
you why,
paid?
or did I ask a question? Just because the order said you should return, people return all the time. My question to you was, did you ever return?
No.
All right.
No.
So, Mr. Chamley, you remained in the house after the restraining order?
That's correct, Your Honor.
So the utility bills that were used, you used them? The
No,
lights
ma'am.
that were used, you used
I
them?
don't use the phone.
No, what about the lights?
Well, I can't really... I would never let it get that high.
Well, here's
I paid my bill. I give her my money every Friday. I give her my paycheck.
So
she
even
kept
after
our
she
head.
got kicked out the house, you gave her your paycheck every Friday?
No, ma'am.
No.
But that was bills was done while she was there. She didn't pay into prior to that. I was giving her
Your
money
Honor,
and she wasn't paying the bills.
that
Is
is
All
what
I
that
know
was.
is I don't know when the bill was incurred.
That's 3 months behind. He let
Well,
it.
this statement
did.
doesn't say when the bill was incurred. It simply says that you still have an outstanding bill. So it had to have been at the time that Mrs. Chamley's name was on the bill.
Correct.
And that was incurred during the marriage. I don't know when this was incurred, and even if it was incurred when she was still living there, you both are still responsible
Well, I'll
for it.
go for that. I'll pay half of it.
But I don't know if it was all incurred after you left, Mrs. Chamley. It doesn't say that this is the light bill between August and November.
I didn't have any other paperwork. I just have that where they're
Your Honor,
trashing my credit
Your Honor,
right now.
She's a mean woman.
Well, you know what?
You're a mean man.
Mrs. Chamley, don't say anything else, because both of you are mean to each other.
We have a reason to be mean toward
No, you
one
don't
another.
have a reason to be mean to each other.
I'll show you
If
these.
the affairs were going on and whatever was happening in your life,
should have quit
you had
back
a
then.
way to change it.
I hear you.
Or you could have gotten out of the situation.
I
There is
understand.
no justification
I
for
hear
it.
you.
Don't tell me now.
Okay.
You lived with it 24 years. That was a choice you made. Now you
understand.
finally made a choice to be apart, which is a
Correct.
decision you just 24 years behind in making.
Right.
Now the telephone bill, I can't tell when this phone bill was incurred.
Your Honor, I hate a phone. I do not make phone calls.
He got the boy that lives up the street to put the phone in
Would you
his
look at
name.
this
That's
for
how
just
he's
a
got a
second?
phone cut on right
Your
now.
Honor.
Right.
It's in
I
the
don't know
neighbor's
when the
name.
phone bill was incurred, Mrs. Chamberlain. What evidence do I have? It just says a phone bill for $438.
I've got
And if-
some phone bill receipts on there. If you'll flip through all of them,
Well,
it
Your Honor.
shows the dates and how much was owed at each
Your
month.
Honor, I had
Just
bought
be
her.
quiet a minute. I'm trying to look at something.
All right, I'm sorry.
When divorce court returns, the judge renders her verdict.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. It doesn't matter to me.
And an update on the case of Michelle Winston versus Danny Winston.
So you mean you told your wife that you were having an affair and there was no way you were going to stop?
We were not having sex. My wife didn't care about nobody but herself.
Divorce Court will be back in session in a moment. Divorce Court is back in the case of William Chamley as he introduces evidence of his wife Donna cheating on the internet.
What else you want to tell me?
Well, I'd wake up in the mornings and she'd be passed out on the computer and stuff.
You know what? She was
Okay.
passed out on the computer and you guys had all kinds of problems.
Oh, would you
Just
look at these? Or
For
may I
what?
read them to you? This
Let
is
me
one.
see that so I can satisfy him. I don't know why he wants
Well,
me to
thank
look
you,
at it,
darling.
but
I appreciate that.
thank you. You're welcome.
This is stuff she was talking back and forth to the guy in Arizona.
I wasn't the only one that used that
I
computer.
don't want to hear it.
She took.
I don't want to hear it. It doesn't matter to me. It just says another problem. She's on the computer. She's talking to another man. From the beginning, she's had flings with men. It just went from in-person flings to internet flings, and it continued. All right? So if that was her attitude, it just, continued. That's all it shows. But the point is that these bills that were incurred, you have to pay the difference between the phone bill. The $205 has to be split between both of you because that was incurred when
Yes.
both of you were living in the house.
May I just
The
say one
difference, no. What else you gonna say?
When she went out to Arizona, she took $500 out of my checking account.
You have any proof
Of what?
of what?
Well, she called me back and want me to send her money out there, bring
You
her
know
back
what? You
home.
need to quit while you're ahead, okay?
All right. In my head. Thank you.
Since I don't know when the light bill was incurred and I don't have any proof to this, any proof of when it was incurred, I simply have to order that each of you pay half of it. And that's the order of the court.
That's better than
Court's adjourned. Thank
All
you.
rise.
When Divorce Court returns, an update on the case of Michelle Winston versus Danny Winston.
When I used to come home from a hard day's work and try to talk to my wife, you think she listened to me? No.
I would come home from work and he would be gone. He would just leave us.
Closed captioning for Divorce Court provided by. Are you involved in a dispute with a neighbor, friend, relative, or business person? To appear before a real judge on a new court show, call 877-777-0099. And now for an update on a previous case in Divorce Court. Michelle Winston said her husband Danny had so little respect for her that he didn't even bother to hide his affairs.
You mean you told your wife that you were having an affair and there was no way you were gonna stop?
We were not having sex. My wife didn't care about nobody but herself. I cooked. I cleaned.
So what you want, a medal?
When I used to come home from a hard day's work and try to talk to my wife, you think she listened to me? No.
I would come home from work and he would be gone. He would just leave us.
Michelle said when Danny walked out, he left her with $300 in long-distance calls to his girlfriend and over $1,000 in loans. The judge ordered them each to pay half the bill. After they left court, Danny said he wished he could turn back time and undo the mistakes he'd made in his marriage. Michelle says the best thing Danny ever did for her was walk out so she could start over and make a better life for herself. Danny begged Michelle for another chance, but she said no. So now he pours all of his energy into his new computer business.
What did I think about what she told the judge? It's all a bunch of lies.
I don't have no friends now because of him. He took all my friends away. Besides tearing my marriage up, he took all my friends.
As long as I don't have to deal with her anymore in my lifetime, that will pretty much solve my problems.
He started it. He started having the affairs first, and you know, everybody needs somebody, but he had everybody.